Yes.
Welcome back to another episode of Ogg'cast. I am Jamie Riddle. I'm with Nick and Johnny, and we're a day late for recording, but we'll jump into that in just a second. Boys, how are we doing?
Bloody good. Just had Yochi.
Yeah. Had nice, beautiful steak cooked by Johnny's mum, and then got some dessert. And yeah, what have you been up to today on this Monday? Might we add, not a Sunday.
Yeah, dude, it's a Monday. I am back into training. I got absolutely so sick last week. I was down and out for the count, spending all my days in bed. Yeah, writing programs. That was basically all I did last week. So it was a bit not so great, but stoked to be back moving. It's kind of what we've been talking about so much, is like when you don't get to move and then you get to move, you realize, damn, moving is so good. So yeah. How's your training going, gents? How's the rowing going? How's the tri going?
Well, I can speak to my rowing. I actually rowed the longest I've rowed since I started this rowing journey today. So it was like 8.5K. I was pretty proud of myself.
Pretty good. Pretty fast as well.
Pretty
Let's
fast for
go!
me.
Any rowers out there?
Yeah,
two minutes per 500 or quicker?
Well, I think I was going steady. It was about 2:11, 2:12. So I don't know if that's any good. I'm only using my upper body, so
No.
not sure.
Thanks. We're gonna have to get a video
Nice.
of the skateboard technique that you use. Skateboard technique.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's good. What about you, Nick?
Nick, how's your tri going?
Yeah, good. Little bit more last week than the week before. So if we do a little bit more this week, a little bit more the next week, yeah, we'll probably get to 9 or 10 hours of training per week by the time we hit Nice. So, yeah, things are looking good.
Nice, boy.
But Dan Laidlow was on the 9 to 10 hour per week training program, and that turned out pretty well. So
Yeah, no, for sure. We're going to jump into that for a second. To be honest, none of us are prepared. We have no notes, but we need to talk about why we're not prepared and why we're filming today. I think that's the first topic of discussion. You know, me and Nick, we set up and we sent Johnny a message like, Johnny. And he was like, oh, sorry, I'm at an appointment. So I was like, okay, you know what? Don't stress, China. We can do it later. Give me 2 hours. Do your doctor's appointment. And I was like, it's an appointment. I don't think I'm coming home back. Not coming home. So, Johnny, explain to this, what type of treatment is this, brother?
So I actually had my cousin's second birthday. It was actually it was at a warehouse. It was pretty big. But yeah, it was a big night for me. Yeah, didn't get home until a bit late. So yeah, nothing really too much to that.
Cool.
Obviously,
I send my best to the birthday girl, the cousin. I was busy yesterday cleaning my room after it got exposed on social media that I'm well and truly disgusting hoarder. So I was doing that all day.
Bro, that reel was so funny. That reel was honestly so funny. Like, oh man, did it go viral?
No, it didn't. It did horribly. I thought that would have taken off. That was like quite literally the funniest thing I've ever done.
Sucks, bro.
Yeah,
I know.
Instagram sucks. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm doing. So you obviously know that I do. Like, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. YouTuber, podcaster, content creator, triathlete, all these sorts of things. And I do content creation, and like, obviously I get like pretty big brand deals. And there was this brand deal I got that I posted on the weekend for GoWard, and we put so much time and effort into this, bro. Like, a lot of time and effort. Like, we actually shot this one, scripted it, like made sure it was like done all nice, and we looked at this video and we're like, this one's gonna slay. And it got 30,000 views, bro. And for me, that is like, oh, it's dust. Like, usually I'm giving over 100. And yeah, and it's so painful because these brands like pay me better than my sponsors pay me, but it's the algorithm, dude. Like, you can't even predict it.
Yeah, okay. Do you get taxed if you don't meet
We
the target?
we try. Yeah, so we us boys try cheat the algorithm. We send it between the three of us and send it to Johnny. I'm like, I sent Johnny my reel. I'm like, look at this amazing reel. Then Johnny will reply, this is so inspiring. And like we try and hack the algorithm as if we smarter than the boss. But no, yeah. So it depends on the brand deal. Like, we can jump into it because it's kind of interesting, but. It depends on which brand you work with, but some brands like you meet a certain, they pay you like an upfront fee, and then if you meet a certain threshold within a certain time period, you can get a bonus. But there's multiple ways to like skin the cat. So you can also have like a link where they will get like a percentage or ask, you get a percentage of all conversions or these sorts of things. I don't like that because I don't think I'm a salesman. I'm a person that I can kind of tell a story and just get eyes on product. Obviously, I do align with the products that I believe in. Like I'm getting a lot of brand deal requests, but it's interesting, man. I think I make more money from brand deals per month than I do from my actual sponsors. So like me getting up and making a 20-minute morning in my life reel gets me more income than a 5-6 hour training day. 100%.
That's huge.
Go,
Nick, you need to get onto that.
Go Wood. Yeah, I like it. The Go Wood one was a good quality reel.
You make a fine coffee.
Yeah. You must be well practiced in the brewing of coffee. Or is that just for the camera?
They got a stunt double.
No, I'm a big coffee guy. Yeah, I brought in this stunt double. No, I said if I won cans, I was gonna get like like the rocket machine, which is like whatever $3,000-4,000, but I obviously did not win. But yeah, I enjoy the reels. I enjoy making them. They just like anything, they have the ups and downs, but yeah, it's interesting. But like if you look at all the reels that I do, like even the Go Wide, it is something that I'm a fan of that app. Like it's an app that kind of just tells you to stretch and get like mobile, which is something I neglect a lot. So if there's an app that's kind of like reminding me every second day to do like an 8-minute stretch, why not? Especially if it's free or whatever the case may be. But they're getting a free promo here, so we're not going to stop talking about this app and let's talk about something else, gentlemen. Let's jump into the racing, right? But before we do that, like a disclaimer. Here's the disclaimer: we are not a triathlon pro. We're not news. I watched majority of the male race. Okay, reason being, I am a male pro triathlete and I'm checking out my competitors.
Yeah.
I am not well informed on the female race. And if that is going to offend you, I am deeply sorry, but this is not to report your news. This is just us talking about an interesting race, and we're all male triathletes, or one is a rower, but yeah.
Yeah, I watched a bit of the women's because there was a girl from Hocker Australia racing, Grace.
Oh yeah, Grace there. Yeah, shout out Grace. She's the gun.
Second in her first full distance and only second to the world champion and the world record holder. So Grace from Oz, second challenge.
Okay, we're gonna So we reel this in a bit, boys. Like I mean, respect. It is a great debut, and like in terms of beating, Nikki and these things, like I saw it. A bit of daylight robbery though. Like
What happened?
Laura Phillip did what? 18-minute win, bro.
Yeah. But like
20-minute win.
Look at Hamburg. Her and Kat were 25 minutes in front of third. So it's just more the level that she's at, I think. I don't know. It's pretty consistent.
No respect. I mean, Laura also she outruns me. She outruns me most times, so I can't actually speak too much. I think, even actually, I'll speak from my own perspective. Like Magnus in my first debut also put whatever 15 minutes into me, so I can't. I'm not actually going to tune because I get it, and Ironman's such a long day that the times can explode. I just think like I really hope and pray that one day I can line up on the race and kind of like 90%. 30,000 euros. No?
Wait, what?
What? 90% know that you're going to win.
Break up?
No.
Wait,
we just didn't understand it.
Wait, win 30,000 euros. Oh, be 90% sure that you're gonna win, like she does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand now. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it is. That's why I'm saying daylight robbery. It's not necessarily. It's not taking a dig on anyone else. It's just the fact of like she's so incredibly good. Like Laura Philipp, like she could join the men's field almost at this point. You know, like it's
Yeah.
it's incredible and it's inspiring. She's pushing the limits and like you got to almost like look at her, Kat Matthews, and say like they're the best triathletes, full stop, men and women right now.
Mm.
Yeah. But I know what you mean. It would be nice, right? To go to like a massive race where there's a big payday and like thinking I could get 2 flat tires, stop and fix them, and probably walk the aid stations and still walk away with a big payday. But
Yeah, but you said you followed the female race a bit more. Like, talk to me. Like, how was it? Because obviously, yeah, I think we all have a deep respect for all athletes and you know understanding the situation. Like, how was the rest of the race? Obviously, Grace was second. I saw Nikki came to a walk. I saw something like that. And I saw that young the young what's her name?
yeah,
Alanis.
Alana
Alanis.
from Switzerland was third.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
was
like
she?
yeah, we watched because you have friends racing the men's. You have Jonas, a friend of yours, so you watch your friends and the guys that you know. But then we also we saw the good coverage of the women's and yeah, it was real tight battle for second, third, and fourth. And even fifth was pretty close. I can't remember who came fifth, but it was pretty close in those positions all day. And yeah, it was cool to see an Aussie on the podium, and Grace did a good job. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say we saw some. We can maybe discuss this after the women's race in the European 70.3. The sprint finish
for the win
with a bit of a rugby finish over the finish line. I don't know if you saw that.
I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan
Yeah,
of it. Like
controversial.
I like it, man. Hustle bustle for that win.
Yeah,
They're in the moment. They're not really like I don't think they're doing it on purpose.
no.
So yeah. Boys, just a quick note. Just remember, like, you guys need to squish in for these reels. If we want to go viral on social media, both your faces need to be in it.
Oh
So maybe
yeah.
just lean a bit back. But anyways, in terms of the men's race, wow. Wow. I think that was, dude, that was a really interesting race. I really enjoyed watching it. I think, I don't know what you guys were doing. I think Johnny was at his 2-year-old birthday party or whatever, but it was a very incredible race to watch, dude. Uh, like Jonas Schomburg, I said it to you guys. I think you guys said it, asked me like as he got onto the bike and said like, "What do you think of Jonas?" Because I'm quite close with him, and I think Jonas is bound to be one of the best long course triathletes that ever bless our sport. But I did say in that moment, like, just not today. I think he's still learning that slight, as am I, as is most people that come to the long course thing. Is like, even if you feel great, you got to be able to conserve energy. And even things like I said it like once before, even if you smile too much, it's like giving away too much energy. Like you have to be so within yourself and like holding that, like harnessing that energy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and you even saw when Sam Laidlow passed him for the win. Like he's so focused. He gave him nothing, no
Yeah.
smile, no, not even like turning the head, no words, just. But that's what it is. Like even I think back to a few weeks ago when we were doing the Ironman, you got all these people like putting their hands out for high fives, and even the thought of changing your running style to give a high five is too much energy at times. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I saw some reels of him like attacking really aggressively out of the saddle, and you know, if you're doing that multiple times across an Ironman bike leg, maybe yeah, like you said, if he just reins it in like 1 or 2%, then
But
next
don't
race,
we love it?
yeah, yeah,
Like You know, I was quite frustrated. I watched him in the pro press conference, got out on a limb and like, again, boring pro press conference. But then I saw him go out on a limb and say, you know, like, I'm here to dictate the race. I want to break the course record, all these sorts of things. And I was like, oh man, finally a highlight reel, finally something that's going to take off. Then I watched Pro Tri News live podcast that they did, and then I saw Mark Matthews dog him, and I was like, the same people that say that the pro press conferences are boring and they need to get hyped are the same people that will. I don't want to say he shut him down because he didn't shut him down, but he was just like you could just see like the roll of the eyes and be like, well, now that he said that, I'm not even going to pick him. And it's like, well, I don't understand. Like, and what's the balance here? Like, surely we support that. Surely we get behind that. And yeah, it's cool. Like, some people need to have their take and be like, that's cocky, that's arrogant, whatever the case may be. But um, I think we should celebrate that. And then you know what? He came out and he delivered on. Yeah, he didn't break the course record, but he delivered and he raced like he said he was going to race. And I'm a huge Giannis fan, and like he's just such a nice guy and he's there for the fun. He's going to take it to the people every single time and he's not going to change that way. But I think like it was a bit disheartening to see like because I'm also the same as Jonas. Like I think I perform better under pressure, and if there's no pressure on me, then I create the pressure. And I'll go out and say something that might create a bit of pressure or like might create like a bit of a because I need that. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, yeah, I agree. I think that's kind of something that maybe, like we have in Australia, maybe is more similar in like the UK culture as well. Like if someone's gonna try and be like a bit of an out there and a confident personality, like sometimes you'll try and reach and bring them down back, sort of like always fall in line. Like you shouldn't be confident. You've got to be humble. Well, I mean, would you agree? What's that they call it? What's like tall poppy syndrome or something?
Yeah, but it happens in all facets of life. Really, it extends beyond triathlon. But I think like it makes it more interesting. It makes it more entertaining. Like knowing that you're there, you've told everyone that you're gonna, give it your all in the race, and you think you're gonna do well. I think that's more exciting than being like, oh, we'll just see how it goes. We'll just play it by ear. I don't know how my form is. And it's like, you know how your form is. You know what you've done in the last 6 weeks. Like, give us something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, exactly. And I think like Jonas, take Jonas out that race, and that race is pretty not boring, but it like changes the whole dynamic of that race. Like I mean, he was so aggressive that Sam Laidlaw didn't even know that he was off the front because he was so urgent in getting off the front. That was pretty impressive. Another thing that I really enjoyed was seeing Vince, even though he just lost that fourth to Jan Stratman, which was also an epic battle, which they kind of missed on the camera. It was good to see Vince like back up there, like obviously somewhat. Vince's level exceeds a third place in Roth by whatever 5-6 minutes, like he's the level that we know from him. But I think everyone was pretty happy seeing him running in third, and then obviously losing the third to Jan. Jan's also a really nice guy. Him coming up into third, it's like they're both good friends. But I thought that was pretty cool to see Vince like yeah in the game. And I honestly think like there's always this question of like, okay, well, what was the actual true level? Like, if we threw the proper, like, more guys in, what was the true level? And I strongly believe that that was one of the. I mean, we obviously have to jump into the numbers of these guys, but like, it seemed like the race was on, and I know that like, guy like Jan Stratman and all these people are not going to just let Jonas Schomburg ride off the front. Like, he obviously had to be pushing.
I agree. I didn't realize until today, like looking down and past 10th, like even 20, there was 65 or 70 pros that started. 10 or 15 didn't finish, and there were some great names in there. And then even the guys that were 20th and below were super strong. So it was like some strong, great guys out there. So the fact that, what was happening at the front of the race was happening wasn't for the lack of competition by any means. It was a statement and an exciting one, and one that I think maybe you just you got to hang on in Nice for dear life, mate. And if you're riding with Jonas and he looks back at you to pull a turn, you just say, "Nah, not my job, mate," because he's proven that he's strong, one of the strongest on the bike. So
You know me by now though that I'm not going to do that. You know me by now I won't do that. If he calls me up, I'll come up and help. But like I actually had a call with my coach last night because I've been like obviously I've kind of explained I took almost 2 weeks off and then I started to train, got really sick, was bedridden. So essentially I've had 3 weeks off now and it's pretty stressful. There's like T100, there's Ironman Nice, 70.3 Worlds. Then there's also like there's so many things. So I was like kind of like, oh, what are we doing? Like what is this situation here? And we like had a deep like conversation and be like, okay, so what is our goal? And so I've decided that I'm going all in for Nice. Um,
yeah,
I think we're quite keen to get that camp going. Nick, and we thinking of getting Jonas on board and a good friend of mine, Dylan, to do a proper training camp. And then I'm not going to neglect T100. I still want to make sure that I get that wild card in London and these sorts of things. But man, I am feeling locked in, boy. Even though like it's been tough 3 weeks, I'm ready to get training again.
yeah.
So when are we going to Nice, my guy?
Yeah, I was having a look today. Johnny was trying to encourage me to start having a look at it and thinking about it, but I'm pretty hopeless, mate. I'm kind of just waiting for you to send me and organise all the details for me. So,
Johnny's gonna
yeah,
have to be our PA.
pretty flexible, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, would love to ride the course and sections of the course multiple
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
I think that's the way it's got to be.
Yeah. Let's jump into a segment of Nice and like and obviously this is a segment for I guess Johnny and I mean Nick and I racing. I wanna talk about like I want to know from you what are you going to be going into this train like let's do a training camp. What are you going into this training camp? Because there's so many things that because I'm such a novice, like I need to start. I'm starting to realize that I need certain sessions and certain things, and I've kind of brainstormed a bit on like what I'm trying to achieve out of this training camp. And I think for the listener, it would be cool to hear like, okay, Nick and Jamie are going to training camp. What are they trying to achieve? How many hours they're going for? What are the key sessions they're looking at? Like these sorts of things, I think is quite interesting. I think the best plan is I'm trying to early August, mid-August. I think we should be there 6, 7 weeks out from Nice, and I think potentially even going straight to Nice and just basing ourselves in Nice and just going all in for this damn race, man. Like, what are we doing here? Like, are we trying to come top 10? Like, what is the point of that? I know Nick's not going to say it. I think Nick has the potential to, be fighting for a top five. I think I have the potential to fight for top five. Jonas too. You never know what happens in an Ironman. So, like, what are we doing here? Are we going to actually do this and go all in? Well, then let's do it. I think it's about time.
I think I agree. You wanna be aiming for definitely top 10, if not top 5. I think for you, I think the best thing would be to just, well, for both of us, I think the best thing is to firstly get away from somewhere that's like 10 degrees, 15 degrees, and firstly just like immerse ourselves in an environment where it's a bit warmer. We're sort of motivated to go out and train just in case we get a 25, 30 degree day or more. And I think maybe just for someone like you, the one thing that I would focus on is just being strong. Like if you're doing a long endurance ride, just being strong into the 4th and 5th hour, because I know you put a massive emphasis on quality over quantity, which is why you can ride such high power. But then if you just add like a few more hours of riding a week, then maybe that last 1 hour of a bike you just nail as well as the first 3 or 3.5 in Nice probably. And for me, I think I have a lot to work on.
Yeah.
Not only I think for a world champ, so I have to find 2 or 3 minutes on the swim. I think I have to find another 5, if not 10 minutes of the run. So I think yeah, certainly a lot to work on. And we'll try and honestly in the next 4 weeks at home, I think it's best to start working towards that, so that when we get to Europe, we can I don't know. What would you?
No, for sure. I think
yeah. What
What
would
do
you
you think,
recommend?
Johnny?
Looking at both of us.
So I think that the bike course, it favours a cyclist, but it favours a cyclist that can descend well. And I think both of you are really good cyclists, but can you go down a hill at 80 kilometers an hour and still corner? So it's a case of, I think, getting there early enough and riding the climbs, but memorizing the descents, like learn the corners. Like, how can you? I know people that can make up 10 minutes on a descent. Like, those really long, like European, like you can make up time so easily. So I think that's the key to
Yeah, so
unlock.
for myself, like I think you're right, Johnny. I think you definitely are right there. For myself, everything that you guys have said is like pinpoint on top of the things. Like I think personally for myself, um, I need to lock in. Like I really, and I think Nick, you too. Like we can joke like our most freaking viral reel is us talking about beer, but I think like I really want this, and I know if you actually honest with yourself, Nick, I know you want this too, and I think it's time for us to like really lock in. So for myself, as you said, like I need to get that endurance aspect, and the reason I haven't maybe got that endurance aspect is because I do enjoy life and these sorts of things, and I want to make time for because I think personal relationships is far more important to me than triathlon. However, there is a time and place to say, okay, well, I'm going to put everything aside and balance is going to go out the window. And I think what will be cool is like having, and hopefully Johnny can come over for a bit because he would bring that aspect to us. But I think with having Nick, myself, Dol, Jonas, like just four mates and hopefully Johnny, like in a camp together, we won't need to like do anything crazy except just be with each other and lock in. So I think naturally we'll get that endurance. I think in terms of you, Nick, like being with me, I think I can definitely help a bit with the swimming and just in terms of like, it's really just get out speed and hopefully you can latch onto that back end of us, on the swim because it is really is just get out speed and it's also a bit of mindset. But then like in terms of the hills, like there is no one stronger than Nick at this course. Like, how are we not? How like Nick is probably the lightest. Nick and Brad Weiss are like the two lightest guys and the two strongest guys power to rate ratio. Like this is course is like if Nick's ever gonna podium, it's now. And in terms of the descent, like you're definitely right. We need to learn it, but I think there is also an aspect of like how little do you value your life? Because there's almost like a thing of like you got to just say, well, I'm going all in. Yeah, like I'm risking it for the biscuit.
Yeah, we got to go full pro cyclist, mate.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
I reckon you guys should ride your road bikes. I reckon that's the key to unlocking some extra speed.
Like good stuff.
Oh,
You what?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
different though.
Are you gonna get a new bike, the lighter version?
Yeah. I want to get what you have. I think I'm hopefully I gotta have a word and hopefully make sure that something comes in before August. But yeah, I think I'll be on a very very similar setup to you. P5 with reserve disc and probably I don't know if I'll use the 90 mil front wheel or I'll use the 50 mil. Don't know. I'll probably just use the 90. It's light enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
It's exciting times. Exciting times.
Yeah, there's a lot to work on. But I think I think I'm past the point where I'm going to a race thinking, oh, I'll just fucking see what happens. Like we're going for the fucking fun. Like it's too like we've put too much like to get here over the past 2 years. There's just been too much time invested, too much energy invested, and money invested to get to the final year of Nice at an Ironman. Like this is an opportunity because obviously I did Kona last year, and like I haven't done Nice, but I immediately know it's going to be a completely different dynamic from tracking Nice in 2023. Like it'll just completely explode on
Blows
the
up.
bike. Yeah,
Yeah.
there will be 1 or 2 people, 5 minutes, another one, 5 minutes, another one, and it's just like looks from what I saw a few years ago, like truly honest. So yeah, I think what you said, we aim for the stars and
Yeah.
and we go for it.
Let's do it, brother. I think a question from my side, like, I mean, Nick, you've been doing the long course for longer, and I guess Johnny, because he's, was kind of aiming to do it. I've obviously come into this space of long course, and has there been a shift in eyes towards the long course? And do you think there's getting more hype since post Olympics? Because man, I can just like now that I guess I'm following it more, the pro series, you got all these sorts of things. It is starting to get pretty wild, no? Like the
Yeah,
opportunities, the money
yeah,
coming in, all these sorts of things. Was it like this prior to Olympics? Because I'm looking and I'm like, this is I don't want to say it's bigger than Olympics because Olympics is far more prestigious. It's every 4 years. And I think it's the hardest one day race to ever win. However, the opportunities that come from winning an Ironman World Championships, I think, might be greater than the Olympics. I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that because you look at the Olympians, they are goats. But like, what do you think? Has there been more eyes as of recent?
100%. I think it's never been harder to get a slot to world champs in Ironman. Like everybody wants it, like genuinely, and you're
Yeah,
seeing these guys that are a few years ago that you just like when you think Ironman, you think of these names, and even they're struggling to get a slot to worlds now. So it's
yeah,
just and I think the Frankfurt race as well, whether it was just the way it played out and the excitement and the drama, it was. I mean, it wasn't like edge of your seat stuff for 8 hours, but in terms of an Ironman, it was relatively exciting. So I think people can you look at that and you think, fuck you add the excitement of a world champs. Like this thing is just gonna go off. You have Jonas
yeah,
and Christian Hogenhaug off the front on the bike doing 10 million watts in the first hour up the climb, and yeah, it's going to be all eyes on it, and yeah, I think more than ever, and I guess you're better positioned than anyone
yeah.
to say whether or not it's got more traction than an Olympic Games. Once you get to
Well,
Nice, then you can. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly, for sure. But Johnny, you obviously being removed from the sport now, in obviously not being able to compete. That's my question is how are we going to like obviously you still have interest because of Nick and myself and whatever the case may be. How how are we going to make sure that you do not go to your 2-year-old birthday party and watch Roth? What does the sport need to do to get that?
Um,
You know
I
what
don't
I
know.
mean? That's the real question here. Like, that's the real question here. Is like, okay, great, the sport's evolving, the eyes are on it. You know, the fans that have always been there are becoming more hardcore fans, and that's great. And there's more people coming into triathlon and doing triathlon. For someone that is not going to be able to do a triathlon as an able body at least, in the future, how do we get someone like you to really like lock in and be like, no, there's nothing that's stopping me from watching a race?
I think it just needs to have you need to have some good promos leading up, and there needs to be like some sort of drama or
Yeah.
conflict or something happening that's like, oh, I've got to see this unfold.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it goes back to what you said before about the characters, because maybe 6 years ago we definitely engaged in triathlon. Like we would watch Lionel Sanders go off the front in Kona, and I don't know, we'd track it live while we went for a long run or something when we woke up in Perth.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, we need more. Yeah,
That's a
more
good
backstory,
shout.
more characters. I think a lot of people got into triathlon from Lionel and his background and everything, and Yeah, I think it's just like more entertaining when there's like a bit more story behind everyone. And that'll come with like just the media and marketing, and I think it is on its way. I think it'll get there
Will it
naturally.
though? Will it? Because that's the question. I honestly don't think we could have more media than we do have now. Like that's maybe a slight exaggeration, but we've got the podcasts, we've got the pro panels, we've got the Fighting Chance series, we've got the T100 pumping media money. Everyone's got a YouTube channel, all these sorts of things. It's going like it's. I think it comes down to what just happened with Jonas. Like Jonas could have said that, and there could be like almost a mutual like handshake between the athletes where like Jonas says that and Sam says, mate, do you know who I am? Like I am
Yeah.
I am the world champ. Like I'm the world champion. You know, like you saying you want to dictate the race. Let's see what happens. Boom. Immediately, viral clips gone, gone, gone. All of a sudden, we're thinking, okay, we're gonna tune into this race. Not only are we gonna tune into this race, while we're watching it, we see Jonas go off and he's off the front, and then we see Sam 2 minutes back, and everyone's like, oh no, Sam usually is the guy putting down the bike split. Is it Jonas's day? Is he right? Onto the run, Jonas another minute in the first 10 Ks. And we're like, okay, it's Jonas's day. And then all of a sudden the script flips around. But because there was not that like bit of not even drama, just like truth, right? Because the truth is Jonas thought he was going to dictate the race and he believes that. And I back him. But also truth, Sam, you're the world champion. And like, okay, yes, I understand you've been sick and all these sorts of things. But like, let's leave that in the past. Like, you're not sick anymore. Like, there's no yeah, okay, even at your 90%, you're still one of the best triathletes in the world. So let's just leave that a bit behind and let's start like, you know, um, that I agree with you a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally the reason we were so engaged that one year. We saw this this guy who lived in his fucking basement and stared at the wall.
Installed a swimming pool in his
swimming pool in his basement and wasn't afraid to say, I'll take it to anyone that comes at me. It was Lionel, but yeah, there are still guys like that. Maybe I'm just thinking like the guys that are at the very very top of the sport now. So maybe like apart from Sam Laidlow, he's got some really good humor and confidence. But if you look at the other guys at the top of the sport, Magnus, Christian, Gustav, they're all like very very quiet, very very polite. Maybe Christian every now and then might like say a cheeky comment, but I don't think it's him trying to be funny. Like I think it's him just being like cooked in the head. So I think.
And also maybe like I agree with you. You're definitely right. But is that maybe a trait of like a winner? Like, is that a trait like Magnus, like meeting him and seeing how reserved he was? Like, there was also this like silent killer presence about him. Like that's interesting. But then also, if you look at them, they're all in the Scandinavian area. Then if you look at Aussies, South Africa, maybe that's why we're so hyped on this, is because we come from rugby countries, from like fighting countries, these sorts of things that we're like, maybe we just like that. Maybe we're the wrong ones. Maybe we should shut up and just train a bit more.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the reality. Those
Maybe
guys
we're the problem.
Yeah, they don't have any energy to run their mouths when they've trained 40 hours a week for the last 3 years. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe
And also another aspect is like triathlon is so humbling that like even I'm thinking, I'm brainstorming for myself, like, okay, what could I do when I get to Nice? Could I say something on the pro panel? Firstly, I ain't gonna be on the pro panel, but if I was, like, what would I say really? And it's like, okay, let me say something that's gonna stir something up, but then at the same point, like I've come to a walk in both my Ironmans. It's like, like I'm confident. I'm confident in my ability to get a top 6, but
that's perfect though, because I would just clap back. I'd be on the mic and I'd be like, yeah, but you've never bloody finished a marathon running.
Yeah.
Maybe
your
exactly. Then you jump back and you say, well, you didn't go to the Olympics. Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
Oi, I reckon maybe your number one enemy, Mark Matthews, will be in the audience and he'll rip into you. Mark Matthews will have a...
The thing is, no, actually, no, I'm gonna give Mark some credit here. Like Mark Matthews embodies what we kind of talking. Obviously, he's not a pro triathlete. He's a podcaster, whatever the case may be. But he kind of embodies what we're talking about because, for example, Mark behind closed doors only says good things to me and is actually I would consider us never met, never spoken, but we're mutually good and we have like a lot of respect for each other. But he will say things about me that, like, the last time he said like, oh, he just brushed it off. It's the onus is on me to not get too senti about it and understand the position where he's coming from, right? Like that is the onus is on the person to not get senti about it. So like when the Sam Laidlaw drama busted out, and I think it was Sam Long that broke the door, like the onus is on him to not get senti about it. So maybe Mark is actually there. He is embodying everything that we're talking about here. Has that like, oh, I'm just gonna say it how it is, and it is what it is. It doesn't mean I don't like you. It doesn't mean I don't respect you. It's just this is my game plan. I'm going to take it to you because, sorry to say it, but Sam Long, you're a terrible swimmer. Like you terrible swimmer. And if yeah. Oh no, am I getting in trouble?
No.
No.
You spin facts. Go on.
No, I didn't hear any lies come out of your mouth. We're with you. It's just funny. It's just funny how strong you were on it. But yeah. No, go on. We found it funny. True. Yeah. Sam Long. Fine, I'll jump in as well. Sam Long's a good swimmer.
Oh.
Johnny's 2-year-old cousin could outswim Sam Long in a fucking swim race.
Oh, fuck. He would be pretty good.
No, okay, well, let's... He would be probably the best triathlete in the world at some point if he swim. But that's just, unfortunately, swimming is a very technical sport, and it's honestly not even sometimes a true representation of your aerobic fitness. It is a very technical sport. But he rides up to, I mean, I haven't raced him enough, but he rides up and runs up to us, so can't dog him too much. He brings so much ice to the sport. He's such a good character. This is the scared part of me that's trying to get his respect back so I don't get cancelled. I'm being honest.
We're the podcast that bring people up. We think Sam Long is amazing. Maybe he could work on the swim. That's all.
I do think he's amazing though. So screw you guys. But anyways, let's just move on because it's getting touchy.
I can't believe you just literally called Sam Long a shit triathlete. I can't believe.
Oh, here we go.
Can't believe that,
mate. He's not watching this.
What did he do to you?
Sam is not watching this podcast.
No.
Come on.
No, bro. What else are you gonna do when you train 40 hours?
I don't know. Listen to the good podcast. Like,
there's only so much.
Have a relationship with your kids.
Yeah. You can spend time with his kids.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair. He ain't listening to this. Boys, what other topics that are there? Like, I saw a video and I actually sent it to our group. It was like straight after we posted the reel about you can have 4 pints a week. And there was like a video of some guy in a forest. Did you see that? Where it was like, he was like, 1 drink and you're only recovering 4 days later. And this and this. Dude, did you see that?
Yeah.
You're putting poison into your body and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, man.
It's wrong.
I don't know.
It's wrong. Don't listen to that.
Wait, this isn't that guy that says, bro, let's go out. There's going to
be... it's not that guy.
No, wrong guy. Leave that guy, dude.
A ton of chicks.
Wait, show me a podcast that Nick hasn't brought up that dude.
Bro, that is not my
Anyway, that reel, that was just pure lies.
Yeah.
4 days.
Yeah. Now, any other topic point? Boys, we have no topic points next to us. What is the topic point from your side?
My notes page this week is completely empty. I did suggest talking about having a relationship of 2 triathletes or elite athletes. good or bad, discuss.
Okay, go. Lead the conversation. What do you think?
Well, I suppose if we look at the challenge Roth results, the female winner has a elite coach as her partner, and the male winner has an elite triathlete as his partner. But all I can think of is I would not want to date myself because I'm like so unreliable and have mood swings and am selfish. So I don't know how
But
they
this is
do it.
you, bro. This
Yeah, that's.
this is a you problem. Don't put this on other people.
Oh yeah, true.
I think.
No, I could actually back it. Like, I don't know how they do it, to be honest. Like, I've obviously, um, yeah, there's a lot of triathlon relationships, um, and a lot of them train like together all the time. Um, and I don't know, like it's kind of like you would. It's how I can relate it is that your work colleague is your partner, and to some extent that's okay. But like, man, I don't know. Training every day with your partner, it would be pretty intense.
I think a lot of amateur triathletes get into Ironman so they can spend as much time away from their loved ones on the weekends as
Yeah,
they can.
I think we
Sorry, babe. Just going on an 8 hour hill ride. I'll be back probably after lunch, maybe. I don't know. Don't wait up.
I think we all we've all got fond memories of
Bro, that
having
is so
dads,
funny.
our dads doing triathlon and not seeing them like all week.
Yeah.
We never saw our dads all weekend because they'd be out on like 20 hour training weekends. So I think maybe that's why those our dads picked up triathlon
Yeah.
to get us little fuckheads.
That is such a funny. I mean, to be fair, my dad took me out with him, so I guess I was the favorite. I don't know, but we had a great time away from home. But no, I don't know. It's interesting. I've also opened my coaching up to a few athletes. So I was the whole week I was spent on calls with like potential athletes and these sorts of things. By the way, we all coach. If anyone wants a coach, we all three of us coach. I am hella
Yeah,
expensive, so unless you're balling, don't come to me. Otherwise, you got these two. Um, no, but I spent the good part of like 8 hours on calls across the week and
yeah,
speaking to age groupers and people just chasing goals. It was very fascinating to me to see how disciplined and how driven a lot of these age groupers are, and it was actually kind of a bit of inspiring. What do you think it is, man, that these age groupers are so like driven for triathlon because it's the phase right now, right?
I think like if I can speak from just like going from a full time job then to being a professional triathlete, it's like you go to work every day. It's so monotonous, and like it's almost like you just need like you need another thing to devote your energy to. Like feel like you're actually progressing or moving. Because I think when you're working full time, you just feel like you're going stagnant. So
Mm,
having something else to work towards that's like not mental and it's more like physical and about you, it feels a lot better.
you're 100% right, dude. And I think like on yeah, that's so true because like even our job is so incentive based. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like on all the fronts that are my revenue streams are all incentive based. So get more followers, get more brand deals, get more athletes, coach more athletes, see more money. Train harder, race better, finish higher, get more money. So it's all incentive based. I was actually having a thought about this the other day. Like I think workplaces need to be much more heavily weighted in incentive based programs. Like because and this is maybe steering off from the age grouper, but it is seeing improvement in any sort of aspect, whether that be financially, whether that be spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Like that is, I think, like as humans, we are born like to evolve and like constantly grow. And as soon as you stop growing, that's when depression comes in. That's when like stagnant comes in. So I think you are right in terms of like people join it, they see a bit of improvement, they get hooked to that improvement, and they want to constantly constantly improve. But I find it very inspiring, all the age groupers that get it done. But under the same breath, they get to hold that gratitude because they do spend a good part of their day in office. So they understand when they go for their 40-minute run, they have gratitude towards that. Whereas I guess sometimes for us, it's like, oh, we have to go outside again. I love my job. Don't get it wrong, but that is sometimes how we feel.
Yeah, I think Johnny's nailed that, and yeah, I wouldn't have really made the connection, but all I know is all the athletes that I coach, they are far more dedicated than me. Like, they will make up sessions, feel terrible when they miss the session, whereas I'm just like, chill. But yeah, they love it, and I'm sure as you sort of embark on this coaching journey, you'll find it really rewarding, and hopefully, yeah, you get to build some people towards some special goals. It's pretty rewarding stuff.
Yeah, it's actually enjoyable. But yeah, cut yourself some slack, Nick. Like, you got to understand that you're super committed. You don't make it to this level without incredible dedication and commitment. Um, yeah, I think we very, very much the same. In terms of like who we are, in a training regard. But like, for the most part, like, we are actually super dedicated. Um, we get a lot of work done that people would come to that wouldn't be able to do it because, again, that's the thing. Like, there's no one on start lines that comes back to that. That's another whole, like, we can loop back into everything that we spoke into, whether we're talking of challenge Roth, whether we're talking about pro panels, where we're talking about all these sorts of things. It comes back to the understanding that everyone on a triathlon start line has dedicated so much time, effort, and sacrifice, and gone through so many lows to be where they are. So, like, being super confident or taking away from someone else is it's so hard to do because, like, there's so much mutual respect.
Yeah, very humbling sport as well.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
But yeah, what else, gents? Anything else?
Well, I feel like we're getting on. It's 52 minutes. Is that too much?
Considering we had no notes,
we had no
notes. Talking points, I hope it's been a decent episode. We've had some good feedback so far. I think we saw a YouTube video today of a Aussie girl,
Jazz.
Aussie girl Jazz. She shouted us out. She listened to our podcast from last week on her bike session, which was nice. So thanks for listening, Jazz.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think I don't know why I'm saying I think. I know Jazz put out a episode of her podcast as well with her friend, first episode. So
go check it out.
Yeah,
Did you listen?
Yeah, I did, and I'd like to think it's
Was it good?
Ogg'cast. Yeah, it was good. Ogg'cast inspired. Obviously they saw if
saw how bad this was.
If this fucking combination can make a podcast, then they sure as hell would be able to, and it was good quality.
Yeah, they did the right thing and actually.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna end up.
Yeah. Next week we'll have a mic.
Yeah. Send it over to me. I haven't seen it, boys, but I think the chances of episodes getting filmed each week, that from here on, the chances get less and less. So, in saying that, if you've made it this far, send us a comment of encouragement. Tell us why you enjoy listening to the Oggcast. Ask us questions. Like, keep us motivated because, I don't know. I guess it's actually incredible that we're 3 episodes in. Another shout out before we end is Johnny has put a lot of time and effort into that shirt right there that Nick is wearing. Man, I said it to Johnny offline, like, oh, dude, you've done well with this. You've done so well with this stuff. I would wear this regardless if I was a triathlete. So good on you, man. Go to, what is it called? Ogging Sports, and go buy yourself some merch.
Yeah, we're going to be getting stock of this very soon. Yeah. So stay tuned. We'll post it on our socials.
We did a little bit of well, Johnny did a little bit of work this afternoon. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a couple cool new fits as we walk along the Nice Promenade in a couple months and turn a few heads. But yeah, no, I think.
Yeah.
Look, I know it's hard. It's hard for you because the time difference to in the middle of your day allocate time to record, but I enjoy our weekly catch ups and yeah, I appreciate the time you spend with us and would love to see you again next episode if you're around.
Do you guys want to date
Damn,
us?
that was cute, bro. Yeah, that was cute. Bro, one of you are gonna be my best man at my wedding at this point. I don't spend more time with anyone else but you guys. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yep.
I mean, I know you guys are gonna be each other's best man, so whatever. But I don't have many friends.
We'll be at your wedding on like
Yeah,
a little iPad, just our face on an iPad. You'll be holding us, and we'll be calling in.
you, yeah. All right. Next week we're gonna get a guest. Our current options is Ryan Fisher. We got Oscar Dennis from South Africa who also lost his leg and is going to the Paralympics. He was an ex-Sevens rugby player. So go check out Ryan Fisher. Go check out Oscar Dennis. I guess we could get Jazz on because she's a fan. We could also get DB Daniel Backergard. So put in the comments. I don't know if you can comment on Spotify, but if not, go to YouTube. Comment. Tell us who you want to see on the show. I think we can get on whoever we want. So just put the comment down. Anyways, are we good, gents? Much love.
Yeah, great. Happy days.
Happy days. Love.
Bye. 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 Bye.